Did somebody just steal Mickey Mouse, Disney's mascot, and use them in their own commercial, and there's nothing Disney can do about it? No, seriously, it seems like it's happened. There's lawsuits on the way, but we're not sure Disney can stop it this time. We'll explain why. It's a legal snafu for Bob Iger and his crew. Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We love to bring you stories that are, of course, ahead of the culture curve. And as we dive in today, talking about the mouse, the one who built the house that Walt loved and gave us beloved tales and stories from, well, that mouse is now traveling to other companies. How long will it last? Can it stand? Will it go beyond where it is so far? We'll tell you. We got the details, and we'll show you the commercial. Click the like button. Here we go. This is Mickey Mouse. You all know him. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not supposed to say that it's Mickey Mouse. It's Steamboat Willie, of course. Completely different character, not at all the same. Tanuki Joe is reporting this. Says Morgan & Morgan made a Steamboat Willie commercial. Now, Jonas, is this real? Is this a real commercial?
Yes, it is. I mean, if Morgan & Morgan makes one thing, it's definitely a lot of commercials.
Okay.
That is a joke that many Floridians would get there because they are non-stop.
Let's play this clip, and I have, before we do so, I got to say, it's a little bit, we're in an odd position here because the law is a strange one. We have wondered what are the rules governing Mickey Mouse once Steamboat Willie exited Disney's purview and entered into the public domain. But this is a commercial now using Steamboat Willie, which again is publicly out there. It's your own. You can have Steamboat Willie as far as we know. Here is the commercial now featuring the Disney mascot.
This Morgan video was not approved, authorized, or endorsed by Disney.
Great job.
Looks legit. Looks legit. All right.
I mean, the animation is not as good, but that's not the point of it, is it? It's
this is the question I have for everybody out there. When these characters started entering the public domain, and they're going to continue to do so, we've got Superman either has or soon will be. We've got Batman that'll come up. A lot of these characters are going to enter into the public domain. And one of the thoughts was, well, at least, people can't do a lot with it because it takes a lot of money. You got to have some professional, skills to make a Mickey Mouse cartoon. And then AI came out. And now you could have, I don't know, in a single day, you could make yourself 200 different Steamboat Willie cartoons. So, Christian, what is this in terms of the ability of AI and content creators and companies out there? Once the mascot lands into the public domain and the public purview, can they do just about anything they want to do? And what does this mean for corporations?
Well, we've already seen the greatest use possible of all these characters was to make them really cheap, schlocky horror movies. So I imagine that will continue apace. But yeah, I imagine that where you go with these characters is very tricky. And maybe that is one of the reasons why they've gone the horror route, where you just turn a Popeye into a slasher. You're not really overlapping with the character and his iconic elements. Maybe, so maybe if you do a Mickey Mouse movie or a Superman movie and you have other characters that were created later, maybe that's where the copyright axe will fall. So I think everyone has to kind of step lively, but you're right. I mean, with AI, you plug in Mickey Mouse, Superman, some other iconic characters into your own fresh original story, and all of a sudden you've got something interesting potentially. So, and then the regular Joe and Jane is not going to stop from doing that. There's no sort of Screen Actors Guild or Hollywood gatekeepers there. It's game on. It's going to be like the Wild Wild West.
So let's talk about that because it's very interesting what's going on. Out of Newsweek from just 2 days ago, Disney scores major legal win over depiction of Mickey Mouse. By Robert Alexander, Disney secured a significant, if quiet, legal advantage this month when Morgan & Morgan withdrew its lawsuit, seeking a federal ruling on the law firm's ability to use imagery from the 1928 short Steamboat Willie in an advertising campaign. The move preserves Disney's ability to challenge future uses of Mickey Mouse imagery even after the original cartoon entered the public domain in 2024. says, although the copyright for Steamboat Willie expired last year, a law firm's decision to drop its lawsuit against Disney has left unresolved the central question of how freely the earliest version of Mickey Mouse can actually be used. What seems to be happening here is that Disney will go to legal war, even though they don't own it anymore. They don't own the image of Steamboat Willie, at least it doesn't seem so. But they'll go to war with you such that it makes it unviable. And I don't know, because this is going to be an avalanche now of their characters as we go forward going into this. And I don't see how they can hold this back much more. I think that dam is going to break as more characters enter. Pooh just went there. A lot of their characters, Donald Duck will be up in the next few years. And I don't know how you stop it if tons of characters, Goofy and all the rest, start landing into the public domain and people say, no, we're going to use this.
Yeah, I mean,
an open question.
My guess is that there'll be a big lawsuit coming forward, and that may kind of set a standard. I don't know if this is the suit in question or this is the legal imbroglio. I'm not a legal scholar by any stretch. So, but yeah, I mean, I think a lot of smaller creators will be scared away by the largesse of those Disney pocketbooks for sure.
It started out as that. We actually ran our story on that Bar Place when this lawsuit was originally filed by Morgan & Morgan as sort of a preemptive strike to better understand and to better clarify what Morgan & Morgan could actually use for this upcoming advertisement that you just saw right there. And so when they dropped the lawsuit, it was really quite surprising, because we thought, just like you were pointing out there, Christian, that this was going to be that lawsuit that was going to figure all this stuff out. And now it's still an open question. So really, we're waiting for Disney's response to see what's going to happen with this particular advertisement, and especially going after a law firm. Maybe Morgan & Morgan feels that they're qualified in order to have that case out in open court. But it's still unresolved. And just like Pro pointed out, especially with the I guess Disney Plus is going to have its own AI content that it's launching. You have Sora 2 and obviously the proliferation of AI generative tools that will put these characters in people's hands, especially those that have gone to the public domain. How is this all going to play out? I really am not sure. We were really hoping that this would clarify things. Maybe it still will, but it's not going to, at least not right now.
There are people out there wondering, guys, who cares? Morgan & Morgan, a Mickey Mouse cartoon, come on. Let's contextualize this, why it matters so much. Let's imagine for a minute that you can use Steamboat Willie because it's the public domain. Let's imagine for a minute that you can use it just like you can use Tom Sawyer or Huckleberry Finn or any of the biblical characters, or the gods of Rome, of the Roman Empire. Let's say you can use Mickey Mouse that same way. And with AI and what it's doing these days, we could very easily, I believe, create a panel where we literally have Mickey Mouse on the panel with us, ripping into the Disney company. We could seriously, if Steamboat Willie is in the public domain, we can make an avatar with Mickey. It can be animated. We'll give him the voice, and he'll just sit there and say, "Ha, that Bob Iger, he's a piece of crap, I tell you, ha." And he'll be right there with us the whole way through, interacting with us. That's what they're fighting against, is anybody and everybody can suddenly be selling their wares with Steamboat Willie, fully animated, maybe even interactive. And every character, every major character of their legacy era is about to be in that same domain. And that's a problem in the age of AI. Panel, Culture, you're stroking your beard. What are you thinking out there?
I'm excited for that eventual future. That, to me, it's like this is the opportunity we've all been looking for. To take these large corporations, take the wind out of their sails. And in Disney, if any corporation deserves it the most, they were the ones that pushed this down the road, kicked this can down the road as far as they did. And I think we're going to get to see the gutting of the idea around trademarks and a whole lot of other things out there that will again limit the control of an IP to a much shorter period of time, at least to the creator's lifetime, which I think, seems, to lend itself to a lot more creativity. This is the big elephant in the room that nobody wanted to deal with, and they kept kicking it down the road forever. if I can make a halfway decent Mickey voice and I have a halfway decent, avatar that looks like a Steamboat Willie, you bet I'm going to come on a panel like this and, oh boy, go after, Bob Iger. You know what I mean? I all day long, because he's probably one of the worst representations of leadership that the Disney company has had in the better part of 50 years. And that's saying a lot if you look back at Miller. So I don't see, like I said, I don't see the harm in the long-term value of these characters, which have been unnaturally extended forever. I'm looking forward to Steamboat Willie in advertisements for lawyers. I think lawyers
channel, of course.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that the lawyers are going to do a great job of using Mickey in ways that, few of us have thought,
Oh no.
I just have to point out, obviously the horror film aspect is one thing. This ad that might as well, it's probably fine under parody law. I'll say that. And they could argue that this is parody and therefore it's fine from multiple fronts. The real problem that they're going to have is with someone coming along who is more skilled than they are, which is proving itself to be a lower threshold every single day. Someone else coming in here and doing a better job than them with their own characters. So I think that there's a next level to this. We can play around with horror films and with parody, and that's fine. But I think the real problem is when someone shows up and says, okay, we're going to do our Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes. We're going to do our, I'm trying to think of a good version of Peter Pan. This is something that right now they're playing around with a problem, but it's going to be a real problem once these things are fully available. Superman is going to be a huge issue. There's your Zack Snyder gets his Superman back right there, by the way. We don't have to have the Saudis involved in order for that to happen. He just can't have
there you go again. Controversy follows Jonas right here on the channel. Oh, Snyder, bro.
I'm just going to say there are more skilled people than the ones at Disney Animation right now. And they have the tools, they have the AI tools, but they also have the real tools because they don't work for Disney anymore. So they could do this.
The most ironic thing about this whole thing is that Disney's animation empire and a lot of its, revenue that it's accrued over the past 100 years of its life here has been accrued off the backs of other people's work, like Snow White, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, all these things that have entered public domain that they reimagined and branded and did their own versions of. They were able to benefit from these public domain laws, and now they want to close back the gate behind them. So it's going to be really fascinating, especially with the amount of creative tools now in the public sector that people can actually utilize in order to take on these characters themselves and reimagine them themselves.
Nat, I think there's another aspect of this, and that is, Bob Iger just came out and said they're going to start doing AI on Disney Plus. And I don't think it's because he likes the idea of giving users access to his characters. And I say his characters because I think he believes he owns everything Disney ever made. I think it's because they see it as a must, because all of this is going to get swept into AI and the rights to their characters are about to run out. And they've got to start creating an ecosystem where it's happening on their platform more than other platforms. What say you, Nat? Is this a big deal? Should other companies be prepared for stuff like Bugs Bunny in his original form, or Superman or Batman to suddenly be hawking the goods of products they may not endorse as a corporation?
And I think that preemptive strike that Disney's trying to do with taking control of some sort of the AI that's coming in and that's threatening a lot of the entertainment industry and a lot of industries in general is specifically because of that. But I also think, and to play devil's advocate for a little bit, not for Disney, but just in general, they're children's characters. And I do understand that. And we've seen unsavory uses of characters that were created for children to either sell or attract children towards nefarious things. And I think that would also be a worry maybe for the broader public if the characters that children can identify as something made for them start doing or saying or showing things that maybe are not good for children in general.
Absolutely.
So I understand that point, but at the same time, free speech and being able to use and create and use creativity as well. So,
and every
in a
year,
hard place.
Every year, just about, we're going to start having more of these Mickey Mouse cartoons with the other characters as they came in, hitting that 100-year mark, and suddenly they're in the public domain, and new variety, new versions of Mickey Mouse are going to be out there for people to use. So how is Disney going to handle this? I don't know, but they better have an army of lawyers. We're not going to do it here. We don't have to do it here, but Disney's going to come after you, I believe, but not forever, because they can't afford it. Not even the mouse can afford what's coming out for them. I know, you want more. You want more of the Pro Channel, folks, but we've got to head out the door for this video. But fret not yet, for more content is yet on the way. 3 times a day, thrice as nice, right here on the Pro Channel. Oh, what's that you say? You want more than that? Fine, we'll do 4. 4 videos. Well, yeah, that's happening. Folks, as you get ready to go, consider clicking the like button for us. It is a huge help. Also, like, share, subscribe, and click it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. We would also love it if you could drop on down and give us a comment. We love hearing from you. And although we can't respond to every single comment, we often are reading them indeed. Folks, we would encourage you to consider subscribing to our partner channels, that Part Place, that Game Place, and that Pod Place. We love them all. We think you might too. Until the next time we have the joy of joining with you, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
Jump into the water!
Why listen to music made by people and companies who really don't like you? Check out Vacation Radio today and prepare for all new content made by the people behind the WDW Pro channel. It's the place you need for all the music. That should be fun. Hundreds of songs, every genre you can imagine. Listen live on YouTube and enjoy a set list that's always sunny. It's Vacation Radio. What are you waiting for? Every WDW Pro video has a link to Vacation Radio in the video description. Try it out and subscribe today.